For the first 2.5 years after my stroke, I saw 6 different neurologists before I was finally diagnosed by OCVT. I found out about OCVT through Young Stroke Survivors Facebook group. They had mentioned that they had been to vision therapy, their dizziness had been reduced, and I wanted to know all about it. So I started digging and found Dr. Larson and the great team here at OCVT. My symptoms initially were very intense vertigo. I could not walk. I had to have another person literally on the side of me to keep me from falling over. Vomiting, a terrible headache in the back where I had the blood clot, and my eyes and ears felt like they were going to explode out of my head. I lived with that pain and that pressure for about 3.5 months before it started to subside. During that time, I just slept a lot. I could tell that something was wrong with my eyes, but I could not put it into words. I couldn't explain it. My normal world had just been turned upside down. I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't really know how to act. I'd never had to be in the hospital and not be able to go to work. Once I was able to verbalize it a little bit better, and explain that it's worse when I'm walking, it's worse when I turn my head. When I look down at a book, all I see are the letters and they look like they're coming off the page, little ants crawling around. Or if I'm sitting at a table like this trying to do something, I see waves in the table, or the table looks like it's not smooth, it's moving around a little bit. It's quite unnerving, to be honest, and I thought I was a smart person, but I just couldn't figure out why this was happening to me and why nobody could tell me what was wrong. I don't have suicidal thoughts, but I made the joke occasionally of driving my car off a cliff, because when your eyes aren't working and your balance isn't working, nothing else works either. I tried to go back to work and it just didn't compute. I couldn't think as fast, I couldn't multitask. All of those things that you don't really think about that you do during the day that use your energy, all of a sudden they wouldn't work. I had a lot of trouble with putting sentences together, and even now I say words that are the incorrect word. They're close to what I want to say, but they're not right. So instead of saying marshmallow at Thanksgiving, I remember I kept saying mushrooms. And my mother was screaming at me saying, don't put mushrooms in the sweet potatoes. And I said, I don't mean mushrooms, I mean marshmallows. But then I'd go right back to saying mushrooms. So my family and my friends got used to it. And if I say something really crazy, they'll ask me what I mean. But most of the time they can figure it out. Once I was diagnosed at OCVT, I even came here to ask the front desk, is this really what you do? Like, it seemed too good to be true to me that they would understand that I was young and had a stroke. They would understand that I was dizzy, not able to do any of the things I used to do. And they said, yeah, that's what we do. And it was almost like too good to believe. But once I saw Dr. Larson and she started, and her exam, let me just say, the eye exam at OCVT is not like any other eye exam you will have anywhere else. It's not just what line can you read. They look for a lot of other things that nobody else asks for. I doubt they even know it exists. I gave Dr. Larson a lot to work with, because when she sat down with me to go over everything that she found, all of a sudden it made sense. I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't hysterical. One neurologist told me I needed to see a psychiatrist because I did not have that kind of a stroke. So all of those things that I'd been carrying around in my head where no one believed me, I got declined for disability and had to fight for that. All of a sudden, somebody gets it. And that's the best feeling, is that somebody understands. I've worked with Taylor for therapy and I've worked with Ashley. And between the two of them, they challenge me to do tasks that I try to avoid during my day-to-day because it's very triggering to me. My eyeglasses help with that. OCVT has ideas to help relieve some of my symptoms. You can't cure them, but they're very good at helping me minimize them. I don't know if you can tell from my glasses or not, but I have what they call binasal blocking on each of my lenses. And what that does is immediately, right away, as soon as that was put on, I did not feel like I was falling out of the chair that I was in. Before, I felt like the chair was falling over, or I was falling over. As soon as that went on, I said, I don't know what you just did, but don't take it off. It's perfect. And it at least took away a lot of my drunkenness when I walk. I start to veer off to one side or the other, and I have to hang on to things, or I'll hit my shoulder on a door frame because I misjudge where I am in relation to the door frame. This binasal blocking helped a lot with that. I can at least now walk into a restaurant and eat and walk out to the car without feeling nauseated. I'm hoping by sharing this, you've heard something that sounds familiar. I could go on and on all day about symptoms, but suffice it to say you're not crazy and the person is not making it up. You can't make this stuff up. I didn't even know this existed. When you get your exam at OCVT, it can be a little bit triggering for symptoms because they have to see how your eyes respond in certain situations, but it's for a very good cause. They put together the therapy plan for you, your regular follow-up visits with Dr. Larson or Dr. O'Brien, who are all great, by the way. You can maybe get on the path to at least being a little better functionally, if not completely better.